Today we are finally back in the dream game, and I am super excited to build the plaza slash spawn area. Now, if you didn't know, or you're new to this series or this channel, hello, my name's Builder, and I've been working on my dream game, which basically consists of riding motorcycles around and doing awesome stunts. Here's the map so far, and today the spawn slash plaza is going to be getting done. Now, this plaza I made for the last variation of this map, which was 2 base plates big, and it just didn't really float my boat. So now my boat is on 12 base plates of an absolutely insanely sized map, and I think we're starting to get pretty good. Now, I did love this plaza, but I think it's too city-like in the city. We need to mix up a little bit more nature within the plaza. So what we're gonna do is something that hurts my heart. While we're keeping the bean that we're keeping. We're gonna do something that hurts my heart, and that, guys, is deleting the plaza. That's right, it's gone. What we're gonna do is grab a screenshot of this area, take it into Photoshop, and just see, maybe like draw some paths, draw some lines, see what we can come up with, and hopefully we can get a cool flow together to fill up this entire area, because a random square in the middle just didn't look that good. All right, guys, so here in Photoshop, I got a little something together. So I'm thinking all of these black lines will be our paths, probably the same color as this sidewalk and the concrete. Well, right here, we could have like a river that goes around it, just because why not? And then I was thinking, where can we add in? I really liked the red from the last plaza. So where can we add that in to mix city vibes with nature vibes? And I got to just thinking. So let's make another layer here. And first things first, we're gonna need something to sort of divide off the highway here, because it doesn't make sense for you to just be able to step onto the highway from the plaza, and we're not really trying to go that direction anyways, as the dealership is over here. So I'm thinking some sort of wall along this whole highway just to block it off. Nil it out. If you're in nature, you don't need to observe a highway, guys. It's that simple. So some sort of a wall back here, and then I want that cool red color that we had somewhere along these lines, and I want to figure out where I can fill that in. Personally, I'm thinking maybe like this whole circle right here can be a red concrete. This whole area over here we can fill in with that red concrete. I'm kind of just scribbling. I know how to follow it, and that's all that really matters. And then maybe one more spot. Let's go with like this back corner over here, just because why not? Now we have some nice gaps between a city plaza and a nature park plaza, and I think mixing the two together, well, it'll hopefully be awesome. Let's hop back into studio and make the path. Now, guys, for the paths, it is a pretty boring process. We're basically going to be doing this, and then we're going to grab Archimedes and draw out paths. Quite literally, render, flip sides, render, and we're going to do something like this and kind of fill out how our paths were in Photoshop. I just finished the rough block out of the paths, and the only thing I really am not a fan of is some of these. We're actually going to bring this one all the way out, which will make that connection just a lot smoother if you don't look too close anyways. Bring that back. We can maybe bring it this way. It's going to come out the side of that. So I guess something like that looks okay. This connection area is a little messy, but it's not too bad. The rest of them look pretty good. Maybe on this side, I could do a little something as well. So let's pull out Archimedes. It would actually have to be with this one. And let's render. Bring that down. Bring it over. We could bring this one. No, we can't bring that one over. And really, guys, we're just trying to make all of the connections a bit smoother. I think that actually looks stupid, so I'm gonna go back. That looks better to me for some reason. Now, here's our paths. We want to do the red in here. No, in here, and here. And then a river, which I'm hoping I could just kind of draw on with the terrain paintbrush tool. But for now, let's match up these sidewalks. Ooh, I guess we should bring these to actually line up with the sidewalks. No problemo. Now I am gonna actually move our edit point, or I mean our pivot point. I think if we group them, then we can edit it. Yes. And I want to just move it over to the side so I can just easily see. So if we do this, now I can easily see everything, and we're just closer to the edge. so it's not gonna move all crazy. We need to make this like 0.25. Let's drag this up once, twice. That's really, really close. But we're not playing horseshoes over here, so 0.125, and then drag it down just one time. I think that's good. We can't have it all the way up because some of these do come all the way out into the road, and we don't want those to be visible. But we're not floating, so that's a good sign. Now let's grab the color of this and change all of these to concrete and that color. Color achieved, and then plastic to concrete. There we go. Now we are gonna have to fix the edges, like I said, how they sort of go out and over the sidewalk. That's not too big of a deal. Drag that one to right there, and this one, oh, this one's gonna be a bit of a challenge. I'm just gonna Archimedes again and connect it this way. Now we'll go over here. We can just shrink that one back. Then we'll render this again, but shrink that one back. We need to render it into this. So we have a cutoff point. There we go. Not bad. Any more that are just ugly? This one's fine. This one is a bit yikes. No problem. We're actually going to delete the last one, and then we'll just render this one into the side of the concrete here, which will be a bit of a harsh angle, but nothing too bad. There we go. And then, of course, these two, which, man, I think we should actually just connect them, which sometimes works amazing and sometimes is a whole beast. So let's go ahead, open it up, flip this around, and let's just start rendering, guys. Bring the angle down a bit, render some of those. We can swap sides, render some of these, and now we're getting into where we're gonna have to connect them. So let's think of this logically. We could just render to here and then delete these two, and then we could use Resize Align, which is another plugin, to kind of fill these two in with each other. Take a quick little sky view. Not too bad, a little choppy, but I think it'll look a lot better when we fill it in with more decorations. Let's go ahead, add in all our red spots, and then maybe the river. I have questions about the river. Do I want something in the middle? Do I don't know yet. We're gonna fill in the red spots. All right, guys, so red spots are done. And now we're making the little partition wall just so the highway players are not ramming into spawn. And so spawn people don't have to just like look at the highway, but they could still see if they wanted to. I do think a little bit of a partition is definitely needed. And all I'm doing is following this road curve right here and making sure, as you can see, like right here, it's falling off. So we just drop that back in a little bit and we just keep going. Once again, this is just kind of a boring process, so I do cut out most of this stuff to fill in these red things. I used the least amount of parts possible, but I'm probably still going to redo them in Blender at some point. This is sort of proof of concept, and then try to optimize everything in Blender. That's the main thing about this game that I'm learning how to do, that I still need to be better at learning, because optimization is going to be a huge factor, especially when your map is 12 base plates big with a lot of detail. Anyways, all of these red spots are just a bunch of random parts. This one's one cylinder, and then this is all a bunch of parts as well. I believe 4 parts in all for this. And then this one's got a whole bunch, but we'll learn how to limit them. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to this road, making this little partition. As you can see, this road piece goes all the way out to here. And yeah, this is definitely not the most fun thing to watch. Let's put that to 2. Oh, wow. Let's go to 6, 5. Yep, 5 it was. And it's literally just this, guys. I'll see you right when this whole road is portioned off. And boom, the partition is done. So now when players are in the park, they're not gonna have to worry about a bunch of highway motorbikes just flying in and absolutely flinging them off of the map. But now that we have this done, we need to add in some water, and to do that, I am going to sort of cheat the system, guys. Editor, edit, paint, water, make that a ball, and I'm literally just gonna draw it on. So I was gonna add water by painting it on, but I don't know how the guy who did the terrain right here, what did he do? Like, it's not a part, or is it? It's not terrain, because you can't paint on it. As you can see, it's painting underneath it. But you can't click on it. So I don't exactly know what to do here. There's terrain under. So what is this? What is this? Maybe it's a locked part. I have no idea. We'll have to worry about the terrain at a later time. So I guess up next, we can move to trees. Now, we've been using this tree, which is very nice, but since this is a park, we're gonna have some tree variation. So let's bring all of those in through our whole asset things over here. So we're gonna grab a few of those trees, a few of those plants, stuff to make a park look nice and hopefully get that looking fantastic. Here is some trees and some plants. Also the bean. This is super important since my map is based in Chicago and I want to keep that as a pretty centerized thing, or just like a good visual, because screenshots within the game, I want people to take some here as well. So I want it to be a very nice spot where they can actually get some nice photos. And I think I'm gonna put it right there. It just makes sense. Either that or like over here. I feel like a centered thing. Oh, in this corner. Things are always subject to change as I can't make up my mind, and I didn't have a perfectly detailed layout before starting this, but I had an idea, okay? And that's where everything starts. I think right there. Then you could pull your bike up, you could drive under it, whatever you want to do. The bean is right here. And guys, I have the reflectance all the way up, and I don't know how I could make it more reflective. Is there a way to do like a chrome mirror-esque finish in Roblox Studio? If there is, let me know. But for now, this is what we got. Now, the trees, guys, and some plants. I have this pink tree, but I think it's gonna be way too out of place, so I don't think it would really fit with the vibe we're going for in here. Now, for the trees, I do have a pretty nice idea. The human mind doesn't really let you do things randomly. There's always a method to the madness in your head, and today we don't exactly want a method to our madness. So we're gonna grab all of these trees and use a plugin called Brush Tool. Now we can put anything that we have selected. Let's unselect the tree that comes with it, and let's put all of these in. I'm only selecting the leaves. I need to select the whole tree, but we're gonna put these in, and then if we activate the brush, we could just paint them on. And of course, we can adjust all of the parameters as well to make this better for what we're trying to do. Let's deactivate the brush, add in all of our trees, and now here's what we're gonna do. Rotation random, 0 degrees to 360 degrees, which means no matter what, our tree can look like this, or this, or this, or this, or any of this stuff like this, guys. 360 degrees. Scale random. We're gonna want this from a 0.5 to probably a 1.2. I think that's gonna be some good numbers for us. And then wobble, we are gonna put it on a random, but amount very, very minimal, guys. Wobble, it's a bit unpredictable here. And then orientation, this is actually new, I believe. We're gonna put up because, yeah, we want them to always be facing up. Now, we want our spacing quite big and our radius quite small. This means it's only gonna place one tree each time we click. As you can see, it is always a random tree. So I'm just gonna be clicking around, starting to fill this place in, and hopefully it turns out pretty good. Brush tool absolutely slayed tree placement, guys. Check this out. Now, one thing I do notice is just the flatness and lack of depth so far in this build. And I think one thing that will help that is, of course, elevation changes, which I will be adding once I figure out what the heck this ground is. The part I'm selecting is not the ground part itself. So, like, if anyone is wondering, no, it's not that simple. It's just, like, there's not a part to select, and it's not terrain because you can't paint on it. So I honestly have no idea what's going on with the ground. I might be having a dumb moment. It is 3:49 in the morning, so, yeah, maybe I'm just tired and not thinking right. Anyways, up next, I want to add in another element. Right now we have our sidewalks and our red concrete, but check it out. I want to go back to this and add in some of this right here, guys, just because I think it'll help break up the whole vibe of this, right? So I sketched out a little something on the snipping tool. I didn't go all the way into Photoshop this time. Check it out, guys. I took an aerial view of this place, and all of these red spots, I want to make that gray sort of blocked out pavement. I think it would look super good, and it would also add just some more variation to this whole thing. And then around the center here, once we figure out this terrain, because at the moment I don't know, we are going to be adding that flowing water. Maybe we'll go back around here and then around this and have something like that. And then, of course, we could have little bridges over said water to connect places if need be. All right, I don't know just yet, but something like this is what's in my head, and now we just have to get to it. So let me keep this pulled up like over here, and let's just start. So first things first, we are going to bring in, actually I'll just use this so we're on the same level already. I'm gonna scale this down. I love using cylinders because it just makes it super easy for the edges not to be super rounded. Now this one is gonna have to be quite small, especially if we plan to drag that river around it. So let's go here, then let's see, I just had like a little thing, I guess, like this, and then oh, this is a cylinder too. I want to grab a actual part. There we go. And the only reason I'm grabbing the parts from over there, first off, because the color and texture are already set, but second off, the height is perfect, so everything lines up already. What I'm gonna do here is just line these up so it's sort of a pill shape. I think that will look pretty good. Let's extend this out to here and then here. Looks like we got to go in just a hair. Circles also need to be thicker because they're not going through the ground. And then we'll just move this circle. And by move, I mean duplicate the other side because that's a lot easier. Let's switch this to, I guess that's not going to make much of a difference for local and global movement. But if we reset its pivot, no, still isn't going to make too much of a difference here. All right, something like this. We got to adjust these, of course, to make it all perfect and whatnot. That's looking pretty good. These trees, of course, can get moved just ever so slightly. Let's make sure to keep that. Oh my gosh, these movements are going to be off too because we had wobble on, but that's okay. Bring this over a little bit just for now. And let's see, guys. First things first, a gray. Second things, pavement is what we're looking for. Not too bad, actually. Look at this. Just the contrast in color and texture. Hold on, not salt. What are we doing? There we go. And then, of course, unioning will take place. Hey, it's gonna have to. I don't think we can really get away from that. But I'm gonna do this and the other areas that I drew out on the snipping tool, and hopefully it all turns out nice. Guys, so far, I'm actually vibing with this pretty heavy, man. Let's go ahead and move our trees off of our water path. And I gotta mention this real quick. This build is going to look 50 times better when the guy doing the terrain hops on. Because, bro, I don't know how to move this, like, this block that's under it or how to change it to terrain. But once we have Roblox grass in here, plus real water, not just parts, the amount of life within this area is going to be absolutely incredible. Also, Roblox added wind, which means we'll be able to use that to shake trees and stuff. Of course, putting it together with wind controller and everything else like that. So here is what is left to do. First things first, we're not going to union anything today. We want to be able to edit everything just in case I'm overlooking something. It is super late, or I guess early at this point, and I won't be surprised if I get back on after I wake up and say, hey dude, that looks okay, but you could have done so many things better. Anyways, we're doing pretty good so far. Up next, we need to add in just stuff, assets, like maybe benches, picnic tables, maybe little grills that you would find at a campsite. Probably that might be actually a bad idea. This is mid-city, Chicago, like technically, and I doubt there's grills, so maybe not the grills, but tables, picnic tables, trash cans, just stuff like that can really add in some life to this. I will say this is starting to come along, guys. I think this pavement was a great idea to really break up the scenery. And as for tables, we do have these, like these benches and these tables, but I may remake them because they're okay. A fountain would be sick as well, man. Could we put the fountain in here? You know what? We're gonna have it in there for now as a little Easter egg from the old map. We can always take it out later or replace it with something way better. But for now, I like the idea of having it. So let's go ahead and copy the position of our circle and paste that position into our fountain. And then we can just raise it up. But that is going to guarantee that it is in the center of this fountain, or I mean the center of this circle. And it's another asset that we got to add in. Now, I guess to add in a little bit of elevation, we can duplicate said circle, bring it up a little bit, bring it in, and we'll do that one more time. This isn't the best for the moment, but it's all we can really do until we can edit the terrain, because then we're going to be able to carve this out and we'll be able to put sections of this like sort of underground, how we we did with this other one, and you would come to the top and then walk down into it. I will say this would have gotten way too crowded with maybe 20 people, 30 people. This one, players will have plenty of room. Anyways, I need to make some assets. Also, let's change the color of this one just to a little bit darker. Have a little bit of variation. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead, make some assets, trash cans, picnic tables, and benches. I think those are the top 3. That'll really seal the deal on this thing. Maybe some light posts. We'll see about that. Well, guys, would you look at that? The light is starting to shine through the window. I think I blocked it when I was pointing at it, but it is what it is. It is now 5:30 in the morning. I have made these few things, all of which I got from reference images that are from Chicago. So this is a light that they actually have next to the bean, which is sort of, I'm roughly basing off of that location. And then we have these crowd control gates and a little trash can. Table and bench made in studio. It's just parts, pretty simple. And I've added in the lights and the trash cans already. We still have to place the crowd control gates, which are right here. I've made them metal because, yeah, the metal looks so good. And I don't know exactly where I would have placed those yet, but the plaza is definitely starting to come along and definitely miles better than the previous one, guys. However, I may take these rocks and add them in because we don't have any rocks right now. And I just noticed it's kind of missing rocks. So definitely gonna add in the rocks. We need to find places to put these gates. I'm not exactly sure where to have those. I guess over here to block the road a little bit. We'll kind of place them like this. We'll have 2 in between this one, and then we'll go back to the one. And that will kind of just be blocking off the road. We're gonna place some more over here as well. And guys, these models, I'm actually pretty happy with because I did go the slight extra mile. If we go into our wireframe, the top and the bottom of all the cylinders in here, the sides, the faces on the bottom, literally every face you can't see in game is not in these models. So like even these, we took the faces off of all the bottom of those. So I am learning. I'm trying to be better at optimizing, better all around. And mainly I just want this dream game to be like absolutely fantastic. So now that we have this, all that's really left is placing the rest of those assets, maybe adding in some of these flowers, some of the rocks, and I'm really hoping the terrain guy wakes up. I've been up literally all night, which is my own fault. This video probably won't be out by 8, considering that is in like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'm still not done building. All right, I'm gonna rush place all of this stuff with brush tool and hope for the best. All right, guys, I've got a lot more stuff placed, and I want to say one thing. Oh, I just noticed actually. Let me place some tables right back here because I kind of forgot about this place and the place next to it. So yeah, let's place this, then this, and we'll do a sideways set over here. That'll work. And then let's make some over here as well, just to make sure we have sort of a more filled out environment. Now, guys, all night something has been kicking my literal buns. And it's been this, what I thought was a part. Guys, this has been terrain the whole time. The whole time. Look at this. It's on center. Now it paints. But water, it's because I was on water. And I did, let me see, top. Ignore water. Okay, I just can't paint water, I guess. I can't paint water, but I could go back to grass, or I can paint water. It's under it. Okay, let me just Control Z that stuff. The big thing, guys, grass, okay? Grass. We now have grass. So I'm going to paint all of this in. It's going to have very nice grass. And then this build is going to look so much better, man. Let me just, real quick, paint all this. It's going to really bring this to life. Look at all that hard work gone, guys. Grass going all on my platforms. Oh, ridiculous. All right, looks like we missed a little bit of all of this. Take a quick peek around. Make sure we got grass everywhere grass goes. It's looking good. A little bit more up in here. Over here's looking nice. Ooh, all this. You guys, you all need grass. There we go. All right, now that all that's looking good, we're gonna go up to our plugins, grass fixer, and we're gonna click fix all. Now, since this map is 12 base plates, yikes, it's probably going to take a good bit of time, but it'll definitely be fixed. All right, guys, I think we are officially done with the plaza. I think this looks incredible in comparison to the last one. Now, there's one more thing that we do need to do, but it's got to be another very stupid thing that I'm just not seeing because I'm tired. weird. The water, man. I've tried quite a bit here, including part to terrain and setting it to water. It just disappears. So I don't know, man. I can't paint water on, and I cannot part to terrain water. So I know it's something very, very dumb. Very dumb. I know it, but it's kind of halting me for that water part. But this plaza looks so much better than the previous guys. We had this, which in all honesty isn't that bad. But now we have this, and man, I think it's just a lot better. But guys, I do think that's gonna wrap it up for today. Hopefully you did enjoy. This might have been a longer video. I'm not sure. I haven't edited it yet, but make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Have a great day. Later.